Hi everyone, this is Brad. Today we're going to take a look at Flipgrid from a teacher point of view and student point of view. Also show a place where you can find some resources as well. So let's go ahead into Flipgrid. So just type in flipgrid.com and you'll see info.flipgrid.com. You can go ahead in. Right away you can check out their remote learning guide. So let's go ahead and take a very quick look at that. When you do so, you can see there is the Flipgrid blog right here, and it is extremely helpful, and even for how to get started within 5 minutes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do though. We're going to, if this is the first time you're ever using it, you have to do an educator sign up. Just go through what you would typically do, and in this case I logged in with Google, but I'm going to use my educator login. Now in the past you'll see they call them grids, now they're groups, so you can see your previous ones are right over in here. So if you would like to start a brand new one, you can just create a group right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just going to call this sample 2020. And right down in here is your join code. If you want to change that, and you want to change it to Dale 2020, see if it's available. It's not. So if you want, you can see 202. So you could say whatever it would be, Dale Classroom. There it is. So that's available. All right. Now, how would the students go in and join? In this case, we're going to use student email, and we're going to select next. Now, where I work in Methacton School District, we use student.methacton.org. So if you are in Methacton, you have to type that in. Otherwise, your students will not be able to log in. So it's a lockdown to that specific. It would only be available for Methacton and student.methacton. No one else from the outside would be able to. In the future, I could show you other things where you could add on different ones here. But for right now, let's go ahead and just select next. Okay. If you want to duplicate any topics from before, you could certainly do that and go ahead and find things that you have used in the past and duplicate it. It's helpful in the future, but if this is the first time you're doing it, we're just going to say skip for now. So here it is where they can copy and share the join code below. What we're going to do here, though, and you can see all your options for exporting it, we're going to go to the group. So in the past, again, this was kind of your grid. So here it is. Right in here, and you can see in here, if you work with others, you could add a co-pilot, so you could just type their name in there and they would be able to have the same access you do. So if you have a co-teacher, you can go ahead and do that. Now, a few things to point out over in here. You can always edit your group over in here, so if you want to rename it, change the group name or the join code, you can certainly do that. Private to public, so on and so forth, guest pass, all these things in here. Is it active? Or is it hidden? Do you have any group followers? So there's a number of items you could do. You can even go ahead in and obviously change your picture. So if you wanted to change it to, let's say this right here, let's do that. And we're going to update the group. So there it is. All right. Now, over here are some actions. And again, you can see how you can edit the group. You can duplicate the group. So there's a lot of information here. Just wanted to point that out. So now what we need to do is add a topic. So the topics, you can have one grid. Let's just say I teach, fifth grade. What I could do is I could have just one grid for my entire class, or I could decide to do a group. I could decide to do a group for social studies, a group for science, and a group for math. It's kind of up to you, whatever works for you. As you can see here, you want to add a topic, start the discussion, and share the join code. So let's go ahead in and add a topic. So the topic for this one, we're just going to say, just talk about the weekend. So type that in, obviously put a little bit more. And let's say, how was your weekend? Okay, not the most stimulating question, but you understand. Over in here, you have anywhere from 15 seconds all the way down to 10 minutes. The default's 1 minute and 30 seconds, but if it's a weekend, maybe you want to do 30 seconds. Over in here, you can see the closed captions. You can turn them off if you'd like. It does a very good job of the closed captioning, but sometimes it's a little bit off. You can change the closed captioning too. Right in here, video moderation, meaning this. If it was something about a weekend, I would leave something like this moderated, where it's just between the student and you. If it was something where it was a question of maybe explain what I don't know, explain what 5 times 5 is. And you could leave it moderated, and then when the student answered the question, you could unmoderate it. So I'll show that as well. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to moderate this, meaning it's locked down. No one's going to see it but me. I can always release it for others to see within the group as well. Now in here, you can see how you can add media if you'd like to. So you could go ahead in. Let's just say you wanted to, let's just do a moon video on YouTube. Let's just do this one here. Let's grab it. Let's go back, paste it in, hit next, and select add. So if we wanted to, we could always say, hey, watch this video about the moon, and what are 3 things you learned about? So you can always do that. I'll leave that in there for right now. Over in here, you can select another way for participants to join. We're going to leave that off. But one thing to point out is right in here, these more options. Always important to check the more options, and I'll show you why. If you want, you could always add a link. So if there's a website or something you'd like the students to go on, you could certainly do that. You could add a title. You could add another attachment if you'd like to do that. Do you have a topic status? In here, is it active, which means they can go in and work on it? Is it frozen? Is it hidden entirely? You can always hide them so they wouldn't see them. And if it's frozen, they can still see. Like if you did not moderate the specific topic or the videos going out, they could still watch the old videos. It's just they couldn't add to it again. Scheduled dates in here. When do you want it? So when do you want it to be frozen? Do you want it to freeze on September 2nd or 3rd? Or are you just like, nah, I don't want to freeze it at all. I'm going to leave it active. These in here. Something to point out. Email notifications. Again, depending how you're using this. Do you want it daily? Do you want it weekly? Every new video? Or never? Again, entirely up to you and the situation that that you're using this for. So, maybe you want a daily one. Again, it's up to you. Once students have done the videos over in here, do you want them to be able to download their own after they create it? Even if it's moderated, they could still download their own. Okay, so again, that's up to you. Again, in here, allow students to receive email notifications when new videos are added. Up to you. I leave that off. That's me, and it's whatever you'd like. Now here, the video features. All right, I'm going to leave these on, but I just want you to see. If you don't like them and you're not comfortable with using them right away for the reason, and there'd be reasons why, maybe in some things, maybe you wouldn't want to have these things. It's up to you. You could always just they can do selfie, they could do none, so on and so forth. Over in here, do you want them to be able to trim, delete, and rearrange clips? I don't see why you wouldn't, but there could be a reason why. Video comments. Do you want them to reply via video to another student? Again, it can have great discussion, but again, with great power comes great responsibility. So that's going to be up to you and your comfortability, if that's a word, with your class. It may be something for the very beginning you leave off, and then over time when you all get comfortable with this, you toggle it back on by a specific topic. So again, up to you. Again, toggle it off. View count, personal opinion, I take it off. I don't think necessarily they need to see it, although there may be reasons why. Okay. Sticky notes, I leave on because they could write notes for themselves. But again, it depends on the situation. Do you want them to be able to add attachment links? And likes. Again, it's automatically toggled off, but you could toggle it on if you want. I'm going to leave it off. Okay. And then down in here, there's going to be kind of custom feedback and basic feedback. I'm going to leave it as basic feedback for right now, just for time. Now we're going to create the topic. So the topic has been created. It's ready to go, and it's right here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to close out of it. So here it is. How was your weekend? Now, yeah, there's a video about the moon. So maybe we want to change that. Maybe we want to, let's go in and say, what did you learn about the moon? Okay, let's do that. And then we could say in here, tell at least 3 things. Okay. Again, not the best question in the world, but okay. So we updated the topic. Now what we want to do is we want to share this. You can also see in here, it's moderated. So that's a little hand. Also, one more thing to point out. I know there's a lot in here, but it's just awesome. Immersive Reader. You'll see this in a number of places. Immersive Reader is a Microsoft tool, and if you select it, and if your students select it, what will happen is this will come up. So this is Immersive Reader, where it can go ahead through.
Tell at least 3 things.
Okay, so it can go through, it can change it to mail, it can speed up, it can slow it down. A few more quick things just to show you. You can increase the text size, you can change the font, you can increase or decrease spacing, and you can even go ahead in and change background. Now, a few more things to show you. Grammar options. It can do syllables there. Not too many syllables in that one. It's going to show nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. So, pretty cool to have that. You can take the labels off. Of course, you can always do this as well. And again, this is from the student point of view, and it's free. Now, reading preferences. Again, align focus. It would focus in if you have a lot there where it would focus in on one line. You take that off. Down in here, best thing now, you can go ahead, and if we want to go ahead and let's go to check. What we want to do is the whole document. You can see right away. Okay, so they can see the original, and then they can see it translated as well. So just want to show that. That is Immersive Reader. Amazing tool, also built into Wakelet and so many other things, but I just wanted to point that out. Now, if we want to share this, we can go right over here to share. And when we select share, you can see these options. You could just do the join link here, but then you could share a QR code. So, you know, you could always share it on a poster or something like that in the future where they could just scan it and answer the questions. Again, up to you. But for right now, what we're going to do, we're going to share to Google Classroom. And we're going to choose the specific class. I think we're going into this one here. Choose action. And this one, we're going to create an assignment. Select go. And then we'll just call this Moon for right now. In this case, you know, we're going to leave it as, you know, ungraded. Let me toggle that off. We're not going to have it anything. Of course, you have your due dates and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead in and make it due September 3rd. Okay. Now you have your options in here too. Just like with regular Google Classroom, you can go ahead and do that. But what we're going to do now is we are going to, and of course, you can always go in here and send a multiple too. So if you have more than one class you want to send it to, of course, you can do that. What we're going to go ahead and assign. Now I'm going to show you from a student point of view what it looks like. If you'd like, you can always view it so you can see what it looks like. So if you can go into your class, you can see here it is. It's due over in here. Classwork. You can go in and see it. So you posted it properly. So that's a nice thing. So as a student, though, let's go ahead in. Let's take a look at it. So I'm going to select View My Work. Okay, I have something about the moon. View Details. Oh, I have something with Flipgrid. Again, class comments, private comments. Private comments go directly to the teacher. Class comments are just that. They are comments that are for the whole class. So let's go ahead in as a student. We have to join with Google in this example. Select the specific name. Here it is. Okay, so I can watch the video. I can just select here, watch a video. I'm not going to take you through that right now. You can see that there are no other responses down here. You can also see that it's moderated, meaning they're not going to be able to see it as soon as they answer. Here's Immersive Reader built in. We can record a response. I'll do it very quickly for you. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to toggle off my, in the bottom right, I'm going to toggle my video off. Hold on one second. Okay, so I just toggled the video off there, the webcam. So we're going to select Flipgrid, and then here it is. We can record our response. So let's go ahead in. So now you're going to see here are your options. You have 30 seconds to read it or to have a response. Click anywhere to dismiss so you can see your options. Hi, everybody. So right up in here, just to show you, just as a reminder, this is the topic card. So just as a reminder, if they ever forget what they're asking, because everybody gets kind of excited when using Flipgrid, especially at the beginning. Also, sticky notes. You know, moon, you know, they can add a bunch of the 3 different things. The second one is blah, 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 whatever it may be. Down in here are your options. So in your options, you could upload a video if you'd like. Go ahead and mirror it so you know if you're pointing somewhere, this is really where you're going to be pointing. It's kind of important. It's kind of helpful sometimes. You could mute. You could also record your screen as well. These over here are the effects. This is what I showed you where you could toggle on, toggle off. Filters, always fun, but kind of depends on what your video is going to be. If it's a fun one, filters, awesome. If it's a serious one, filters, maybe not. Frames, same thing. Kind of cool, kind of neat, but it's up to you if you want them open or not. Again, you can toggle those off in those options. Emojis, so that's, you can see there are tons of them. I mean, I can just scroll through and you can see there are so, hey, there's the moon, look at that, and a squirrel. Let's go ahead in. I could do that right there if I want to. If I want to make it larger, I can certainly do that. Oh, wow. I left that on. That's nice. So if I want to remove things, I can. If I want to go back and obviously remove the frame, that's better. I can do that as well. Now, if I want to add some text, I can go through, just do a classic text, and I can say the moon. And then I can move this around where I'd like to and make it bigger, make it smaller, and do all those things, or just clear it. You can also see with the effects how you could go in and with this you can see the different colors and the different, all those things. So you can do that. It's up to you. If you want to leave them on, leave them off. Drawing, you can say, hey, look at this right here. Especially if you have a whiteboard or something behind you and you're, describing something. You can always undo things if you want. You can make things a little bit larger too if you want to do that. So if you had something a little bit bigger, you can always do that. And of course you could clear everything. And you can change the color. Okay. Two more things. Whiteboard. This is a great one, especially for teaching. So if you are teaching something and you want to go ahead in, what you could do is if you say if you uploaded a picture here, you could say, hey, so here's what I want you guys to work on. 4, pull out, oh Jesus, terrible, plus 3. I wouldn't use this large. A 7. Well, that looks awful. But you understand what I'm saying. Obviously, you change the thickness, and let's write in red. So if I was going to say something like, 14 plus 26. To say, okay, guys, 14 plus 26. I know 4 plus 6 is 10, so I'm going to put the 0 here. Now, I have to carry the 1. I'm putting it in the tens column. So 1 10 plus 2 tens is 2 tens, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So my answer is 40, or 4 tens. So it's just nice to have, and of course you can always, with the whiteboard, which is really kind of nice, or with the board, with the split screen, you can make yourself smaller, almost disappear, or take over entirely. So it is up to you, and of course you have cool backgrounds or boards as well. Let's clear this. Then you have the photo. You could upload your own photo. So that being said, let's go ahead in and let's clear this board. Okay, here I am. I'm just going to do straight old boring me, just talking about the moon, just for 2 seconds, just as an example. So there'll be a 3, 2, 1. If you want to leave those, you could always leave the sticky notes up. No one's going to be able to see it but you. So it's kind of, or the student, I should say. And they could add as many as they want. But again, you can leave that on. You can take it off. If they want to pause, they can pause and then continue talking. You can see right up in here, there's 15 seconds left. If I want, I could go ahead and I could scratch it and just hit confirm. You got this. You can try it again. So I'm just going to do a quick, couple second one here. Okay, so here we are talking about the moon. What I learned about the moon is that the moon is not made of cheese. Okay, I'm sure Adam Chantry would love that. So let's go ahead on. Let's hit next. You can see I still have 24 more seconds to go, but we're going to go on. Okay, so here's the review. Talking about the moon. What I learned about the moon. All right, so if I would like to, I can. Here we are talking about the moon. What I learned about the moon. I can trim portions of this if I'd like to, or if I don't. If I'm ready and I like it, just hit confirm. Okay. Hit confirm again, or hit over again. Now I have to add a selfie. Again, same things come up. So kids love all the emojis and all those things. I'm not going to take you through that, but you can of course check that out. I'm just going to take a picture. Let's close out of this. All right, here we go. Uploading a video, so we can just say Brad. I'm not going to put a link in or a title. Submit. Now we left this open. You can see how they can go ahead, and here's a direct link to that video, even though it is moderated. So something to point out. You could also download the QR code. So if you downloaded this right in here, cool thing, download the Flipgrid app on your mobile device, and you can get, what's really kind of cool, is you'll be able to see augmented reality. If you don't have the augmented reality on there, and maybe it's an older device, or maybe you're scanning with a Chromebook, the video would still come up as well. So that's cool. They could always download it here as well. So I want to point that out. They could download the video, and they can download the selfie. Again, all those options are in that options part within the video, or with it earlier that I talked about. We're going to hit complete. So now it's been completed. This is what you would see as a student. But you notice, oh, your video will be hidden until approved by your educator. So it's like, oh, okay. Let's go in as the educator. Here we are. Flipgrid, and what we want to do is we want to go ahead in and we want to see what has been added. So we scroll down, all these are going to come up in here. Now, remember how we left the views off, and we left the views off. If you ever do leave them off, or let's just say you go in from making something hidden to active. So now it's active. So if I went in as a student, what you're going to see is this is going to pop up here. Let me just refresh this. Scroll down. Boom, there it is. So somebody watched this.
Okay, so here we are talking about the moon. What I learned about the moon is that the moon is not made of cheese. Okay.
Okay, so there we go. Whoop. Now, it's not going to show them how many views. You can see closed captioning does come up here, just to show you that. But as a teacher, you will see how many views there are. So even though right now it's not showing, give it a little bit of time to show that. Couple quick things to show you. If you want to print all of the videos at once in QR codes, you could certainly do that. A little trick, if you have a bunch of them, maybe you want to put it on, maybe a poster or something like that. Just a tiny little trick. What you can do is change it to pages. You could customize it. You could go ahead in and you could even go into the more settings, and pages per sheet, like you could have 16 of them. So they see how tiny it makes it there. So then you could put that on a poster or something, and it's real quick and easy, and they definitely work even though they're tiny. Okay, so that is that's for that one. So now you could also go ahead in here. You could share this this private link, and to show you that it works, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. So even though, and let's go back for a second. Let's make this moderated now, so or hidden. If I'd like to share this with a family or a principal or whomever, I just copied this link, so it can still be shared. So I'm going to go into an incognito window. That way I'm definitely not logged in. And you can see, here's the video.
Okay, so here.
Okay, so there it is, ready to be shared with whomever that you would like to. So you can see that right in there. Oh, and here you go. You can see 3 views. So pretty cool. Now, when you go back, there's so much in here. If we go ahead back into Flipgrid, you can see right in here, it's right here. You can always search your groups if you have a lot of groups. And then again, to add more topics, just go in, add a topic. You don't have to keep adding more and more groups. It's up to you. Now, more information at the top. You can always go into Discovery. So many people share so many things, and if you don't follow them on Twitter or Facebook, there's even things dealing with Epic, Wonderopolis. If we go ahead through, you can see the Met, you can see Hour of Code, Nearpod, Breakout EDU, Minecraft. But then you can even just search for trending topics or whatever topics you'd like. It is up to you to search. You can see there are over 26,000 topics that have already been created. In here, there's also your activity in your classes. And let's show this one. Grid Pals would be almost like Pen Pals. For the future, if you're interested, we can always talk about that. But shorts are awesome. And why are shorts awesome? Shorts are awesome because you can make nice pictures. You could record a video right away. So if you want to create one and send it on, you could just do a record a video. Again, you have 10 minutes, and you can go ahead in and just start recording. And you know, this would be something you could put instantly inside of your Google Classroom and say, "Good morning, everyone. Hope you all have an amazing day. We're going to be meeting here in a few minutes, and we're going to be discussing just something amazing." I don't know. Okay, so we're going to hit next. I'm just going to go ahead through. That's fine. Oof, terrible picture. All right, so here it is. So what I could do is I could just go ahead and I could just share it directly to Google Classroom. So, and I'll do that right now. I'll put it in, and I'm just going to make this an announcement and just hit go and say, morning, everyone, whatever it may be. Hit post. Let's go in as a student. Let's go to the stream. Let's search this. Okay, so there it is. Morning, everyone. We're going to click right here. Here's the video. How awesome is that?
This would be something you could put instantly inside.
So that would be, that's one of my favorite features, is that you could instantly just share what you're thinking directly into your classroom so students know exactly what you're looking for. Of course, this does empower all student voices. And think about the kids, or, for me, myself, I would have loved Flipgrid when I was in school because I was that kid in the back who was a little shyer. And I didn't share as much, even though I had things to share. It took me a little while to do that. So think about those students. This allows them to share their voice. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great night. Take care.